It's Real Fit Radio with B
and J.LOU.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Learn till old, live till old, and there is still 1/3 not learned. It's a Chinese proverb, but I picked it because I'm curious to know what that third one is. Is it kind of like the one we did a couple weeks ago when I said the thing about teaching and educating other people? Like where now it's like pass on the knowledge, that's the third thing? That's why I picked that one. It's not because you're supposed to obtain something from it, but get the mind going for your day. Like, what could it be the third thing? Because we know about living life to the fullest. We know about learning. Why live if you're not educating yourself as long as you're here? What could be the third thing?
Some people plant seed, some people water, but it's God that gives the increase. You just planted some seed. I have no idea what that Chinese proverb is about. I believe that somebody is going to come and water it, so I have a better understanding. And then the increase of the knowledge of how I implement it is going to be all in God's perfect time. That's a seed plant for me. I have nothing.
It caught my eye. I was like, the other two make sense, but damn, what is the third one? What I need to do in old age? But maybe it's one of those things older people know.
Well, we're going to jump into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. So without further ado, what are we talking about?
I've been reading this book by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. And the chapter that I was in, I'm going straight to the point of the chapter that intrigued me because it was some other things that came into play. And that's why I brought this up as a topic. It was saying something along the lines of behind every great man is a woman. And depending on what type of woman you have in your life can make or break the success of the man. And then there's been like these areas in time, I'm talking about frequent occurrences where I've been seeing find you a good woman and you will find success. All these different proverbs and quotes and stuff like that. And it's not that I was looking for it. It just kept showing up. And so the question I pose is truth or myth? Are women a pillar for a male success? Is that a must have in order for a man to reach their true potential of their success? I asked this question because it intrigued me because I was like, okay, I mean, I see what you mean. I can think of plenty of men that have success, and then I look at who they're married to and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense why they are where they are. I mean, look at the support they have. And then the other side of me is like, but what you trying to say is plenty of men out there that obtain success without having a good woman around or whatnot. And then it opened up my eyes. It's not necessarily marriage. It's not necessarily a relationship. Sometimes it could be a good friend too. I just feel like some of the major slip ups that men have when it comes to success or failure to keep it, I should say, is because you don't have a woman around. Most times men make the biggest mistakes because of women. And I feel like if you have a good woman around you, whether it's a friend or spouse, they see things that you don't see. In that regard, the support is vital. Men may not say it, but they need their ego stroked in a way that other men can't do it. So that emotional support, that person you can talk to and be vulnerable, that allows you to work out these processes and these fears and the way the world beats you up. You need somebody there that you can come to and confide in. And women has a way of nurturing that situation and making it better. And not to mention bringing intricate detail. They see things from a different perspective and add even more value to what you were already doing. Like case in point, it's ideas that I have and it's almost like a skeleton. And then when I pass the book to her and it'd be like, well, what do you think? How do you think I should run this play? She comes with all these details that I don't see or asks questions that I would never ask. And what could have been a good turnout of events for whatever it is I'm asking her, what does she think, ended up being great just because of the mind. And I'm saying that because I have one of the good ones in the world. But on the flip side, if you deal with the wrong person or the wrong woman, it's almost like dealing with the wrong crowd, specifically in relationship type stuff. If you're with with a woman who doesn't support you, if she doesn't bring anything to the table, she's not doing her own endeavors or whatnot to help you grow. Because indirectly, even if she's not part of your team on that, and and she's just emotionally supported and she's there when you need her to do some stuff, the fact that you seeing her grind it out on her own endeavors, if you that type of person that likes to do well, if somebody's doing well next to you and they keep rising, guess what you gonna do? You're gonna rise. But what happens if you don't have that reciprocated on the other end? Let's just say that person is just, in the words of Wall Street, all you do is have sex with me and spend my money. If you end up with that type of person, at some point you're going to be broken financially or just making bad decisions that you probably wouldn't have made if you were with a good woman.
And now a quick moment from our sponsor, Journey of a Legend.
You. Yeah, you. What's your passion? Purpose. Every day you try, you succeed. The time is now. Journey of a Legend. It starts with you.
If you want to learn more or purchase merchandise, go to www.journeyofalegend.com.
That was like an icebreaker for you guys, but what are your thoughts on truth or myth?
It's usually said it's a woman that brings it out in a man because you think of that being the closest thing to a man, when he lets his guard down, pillow talk, he confides in her, she can get closer to him than a man. I think it can happen because usually that's who a man is spending a great majority of his time with. But if you take out the woman, for example, when you see a man running with the wrong pack of wolves, the guys, or how we just watched the movie Rounders with Matt Damon and Ed Norton, and he had a good woman with him who was supportive, who had been with him when he was down, and him hanging with Ed Norton, he lost that woman, but then he came back up when he got rid of Ed Norton. So the woman wasn't the element, nor was she strong enough in a sense in her stance. She said she had to back up because she saw where he was headed. He came up out of that himself. I think it kind of plays into the wrong supporting cast, be it man or woman, can determine whether you're successful or not. You have the wrong right-hand man. We've seen it in movies like Goodfellas. I can't think of any other movies, but
Casino.
Right. Heat. There was an issue. So I think that no matter how strong the woman, if she's great as a supporting player, like know your role, then you can do so much more. Or if that one running buddy you have, because you're not married, you're a single man, you get with the wrong one and you never make it to where you could have. Another example I would use is like seasoning. You add the right amounts of seasoning to something, you get a flavorful dish. But too much salt or not enough of, it can go a whole different way. Salt can make a dish flavorful, but too much of it is no good. I do believe you get with the wrong woman and that's who your right hand, man is. That's the one you setting up all the plays with. Yeah, you can end up in a bad way. Women bring a different element to it. We do bring a different perspective, a different type of nurturing because we're different in gender and everything. We're women. It can be a man or a woman that can make or break you or be the difference in your success or failure. Any person can make or break you if they positioned right. What's the one, Caesar?
Oh, yeah. Brutus.
Brutus was a man, right?
It was Brutus.
And he stabbed him in the side, right? And it's even the position. He just was close enough to do it. It's whoever the man allows closest to him to influence him. It can be his mother, his right-hand man, the milkman down the street, the lady next door, whatever it is. It's just your supporting cast, whoever you allow to whisper in your ear.
So to sum that up, people, it's the supporting cast. It's not gender-based. It's all on who you surround yourself with. I couldn't have said it any better. I definitely agree with that. I had my tender moments or had my thoughts about, wait a minute, I don't necessarily agree with my successes based on me having a good woman. I mean, but I have seen a lot of examples of it. Is that true? Maybe it is true. So I'm still growing here, ladies and gents, just like everybody else. I'm glad that I heard the response that I got. Give me different perspective because I really wasn't looking at it like that or didn't see it that way. So, yeah, it gave fresh Rima.
That's the best too, when you get a fresh perspective. And that's why we have these kind of conversations, or these open conversations. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggested topics, or you want to keep this conversation going, you can shoot us an email at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast drops every Monday. You can catch the latest snippet on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you definitely should be. As always, we hope this inspired, impacted, or empowered someone. Until next time.